Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and the new seasonal content of the patch 10.2 is finally here, which means that the race is back on, with us trying to gear out our mains and ults as quickly as possible with some of the best gear imaginable, especially if you're looking to be more competitive and ahead of the curve within this new endgame season. And in patch 10.2 there's so many different ways to outfit our characters, which can definitely feel a bit overwhelming if you're new or just going back to the Dragonflight for the brand new season. So today I wanted to put together this video on how to gear your mains and ults for the newest seasonal content of the patch 10.2 by going over some of the fantastic entry-level gear that a fresh new character can pick up, but also go over the three main forms of endgame content and how you can maximize your great vault rewards, as well as tips on how to obtain your tier set gear in order to gain the most power out of your character as soon as possible, as well as how to optimize your character with crafted gear and items. But right before we get into this gearing guide for the patch 10.2, most of you guys watching these types of guide videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. First, let's go over how to obtain some of the easier entry-level items. And the open world of Dragonflight is filled with them, whether we're talking about the brand new zone of the Emerald Dream or any of the other activities within the Dragon Isles. From the Time Rifts, Dream Surges, and even Suffusion Camps, the open world is filled with new opportunities. It's always good to gear yourself out with some of the easier to obtain entry-level gear before diving into some of the more challenging and difficult endgame content. And on this channel, we've actually covered this topic a couple of days ago, and I don't think you want to hear me repeat everything that is said in that video, so I'll have a link down below for you guys to check out if you're looking to get some powerful entry-level items. But another source of open world gear available as of this week is a new world boss of Aurastor the Hibernator, who spawns within the Emerald Dream. Dragonflight's world bosses are not easily soloable and will require a whole group of players or even a raid of players to defeat. The world boss has a chance to award 460 champion gear, which can then be further upgraded along the champion track to a maximum item level of 476. And just like raid bosses, the world boss can only be looted once a week, but the encounter is so short that it's definitely worth your time to try him with every weekly reset. Another source of entry-level items will be Timewalking dungeons. Every few weeks, a Timewalking event becomes enabled in Dragonflight, and with it, you can also pick up a weekly quest. After completing a handful of Timewalking dungeons, you are awarded with champion track gear that is equivalent to normal raid quality gear. And just like the gear off of the world boss, these champion items can also be upgraded all the way to an item level of 476. Next, let's go over some of the endgame content available for Season 3, starting with raids. All raids come in 4 difficulty, from LFR, Normal, Heroic, and Mythic. The higher the difficulty, the more it's going to take to topple any of these bosses down. However, the rewards from these bosses also scale with difficulty. The newest raid of Emergency also has rare and unique items that are only available to be earned from this newest raid. Raids also make for an excellent source of tier set items, with certain bosses awarding you tokens that can be converted into powerful tier set gear. Slaying bosses within raids also allows you to earn Wormcrest currencies, which you use to upgrade your gear and items to the next available level, with normal gear awarding a lot of Drake crests, heroic gear awarding Wormcrests, and mythic gear awarding Aspect crests. Then we have Mythic Plus dungeons, with the seasonal dungeons rotating with every new season. The current set of dungeons features Waycrest and Atal Dazar from the expansion of Battle for Azeroth, as well as Darkheart Thicket and Blackrook Hold from the expansion of Legion, Everbloom from Warlords of Draenor, and Throne of the Tides from Cataclysm, as well as the most recent mega dungeon of Dawn of the Infinite, which is broken up into 2 parts. And just like raids, dungeons also scale with difficulty, with greater challenges but also with greater rewards. All base difficulties of dungeons, from normal, heroics, and even mythics, have gotten an increased item level rewards within Season 3, though the true endgame content within dungeons is Mythic Plus dungeons, which scale with keystone difficulty. And these dungeons not only award rewards at the end of the dungeon run, but also can contribute towards your weekly Great Vault. Mythic Plus dungeons are an excellent source of crests of varying dungeon difficulties, and are a perfect form of farmable content that will let you upgrade your gear and items. For any new players starting out with Mythic Plus dungeons, I recommend to start small and easy. Start with some of the lower key levels and then work your way upwards as you get more comfortable with the content. Because eventually you will want to start farming plus 17 dungeons at a minimum, because those dungeons award you with 467 gear on the hero track, which fully upgraded becomes 483 mythic adjacent items. You should also start working towards plus 18 dungeons at a minimum towards the Great Vault gear, as those items obtained from the Great Vault plus 18 dungeons will be on the Mythic track, which can be upgraded to a maximum of 489 item level quality, which is some of the most competitive gear available besides Mythic raids. Then we have Season 3 of PvP, with open world gear as well as honor and conquest gear. Open world gear is obtained through bloody tokens with some of the base starter items, but you can also earn epic versions of open world gear by completing a weekly quest that will let you earn trophies of strife, which is a currency needed to obtain some of the best open world PvP items. Then we have honor gear, which starts you off with some of the most basic and up-to-date PvP gear for the season, as well as conquest gear, which is earned by competing within rated PvP activities and earning a currency of conquest, and then spending that currency on vendors to purchase some of the most competitive and the strongest PvP items. If you look into gear for PvP within Season 3, then PvP gear is all you will need, as PvP gear scales within player versus player content. That means if you dive into open world PvP, battlegrounds or arenas, PvP gear will naturally upscale within player versus player environments, which on average should make it more competitive than dungeon or raid gear. Up next, we have the Great Vault system. By participating in any of the endgame activities within the Dragon Isles, this allows you to collect additional items through the Great Vault. For example, the more raid bosses you slay with increase in raid difficulty, or the more dungeons you complete, also with increase in scaling keystone levels, and the more honor you earn within rated PvP activities, the more items you can choose from once a week from your regional reset. While you can fill out the vault with more choices, you might only take one item from the Great Vault, so you be sure to choose carefully. But filling out your vault should be your top priority at the very beginning of Season 3. And you're free to participate in any of the endgame activities you're interested in, and getting your very first vault slot for any of the forms of endgame content is generally very easy to complete. While gearing your character within patch 7.2, you'll also want to be on the lookout for tier sets. Tier sets are powerful items with a 2-set and a 4-set bonus that are unique to every single class spec within Dragonflight, with many of these bonuses greatly increasing your overall power, and in some cases drastically transforming your overall rotation and playstyle. Currently, the best source of tier set gear will come from slaying raid bosses within the new Emergicell instance. Gear obtained within the Great Vault can also be sometimes automatically upgraded into tier set items from all forms of endgame content. Finally, you can also convert Season 3 gear into tier set equivalent gear with the Revival Catalyst. The Catalyst will have a limited amount of charges available early into the Season 3, but over the season you'll gain more charges every few weeks, which will allow you to convert even more items into guaranteed tier set bonuses. But if you do end up using the Catalyst, remember that only certain pieces can have tier set bonuses, specifically things like helmets, shoulders, gloves, chest, and leg pieces, so be careful when catalyzing your Season 3 gear. But another way to earn tier set gear will be to obtain the Season 3 Mastery achievement, and you can obtain a Season 3 Mastery token with 3 different ways, either by defeating the final raid boss of Fyrakk on heroic difficulty, or obtaining the Keystone Master achievement within Season 3 dungeons, which requires you to obtain 3000 score within Mythic Plus, or climbing up to the rank of Challenger 2 within rated PvP content. And finally, let's talk about crafted gear within the patch 10.2. Crafted gear allows you to create items with your own specifications using the work order system or the Dragonflight's profession system. These items can be turned into simple pieces to help you fill out some of your best in slot gear with your ideal stats, though some of these items can also be enhanced with additional embellishments which come with unique effects, such as damage procs, healing procs, or even unique utility benefits. Then there's also unique embellished items which come with a unique effect out of the box, but usually require a skilled master of a profession in order to craft some of the strongest embellishment items. For the Season 3, you'll need to acquire Dream Sparks to craft Season 3 crafted gear. Dream Sparks are created from 2 spark fragments which you can earn weekly, meaning that you gain access to 1 Dream Spark every 2 weeks. A spark fragment can be earned either from the new zone of the Emerald Dream, which requires you to increase the reputation with the newest faction of the Dream Wardens. But another way to do this is to complete one of the weekly PvP quests, which can be obtained from the PvP vendors. Once you have your spark, you can start crafting Season 3 gear, which can then be further improved with crest enchantments. As you farm crests within the endgame content of Season 3, you'll be able to trade in a certain amount of crests into a crafting component. These crafting components need to be enchanted by someone skilled within the enchanting profession to become an item that can be used as part of a crafting reagent. With these special reagents, you can further upgrade the item level of your crafted gear up to a maximum of 486, which allows crafted gear to be some of the most competitive items available when it comes to outfitting your character with some of the best in slot gear. And that's going to be my full guide on how to gear out your mains and ults for the new season in the patch 10.2. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.